real story of the game was Nathan Cloyd led the scoring, 15 points, and that's what you need to do. And
very true.
Evan Neff, potential Player of the Year runner, front runner, I guess. Maybe he's right up there in the pack.
He's in the area.
He's in the conversation. 12 points last night as well. And then Nathan Dawson, the Mayville transfer, coming in with 9 points last night. So good win from Kingston. And now move on. And I know they have, I'm trying to think who they have coming up.
I have it right here.
Was it North Huron?
They have North Huron on the 12th, and then in Deckerville on the 15th.
Okay, so
next week,
big rivalry game coming up for them. But
and you said there was a Bryce George sighting last night as well.
There was, yes. Bryce George, I guess, still supporting Marlette. Still out there and watching some games, and he was out and about in the gymnasium. Looks very Bryce George-like, very big still. That's the big kid, and doing good stuff down at Edison, from what I've heard. So kudos to him. And yeah, it was it was cool to see him out there. It was packed. I mean, they had a benefit dinner for one of their own over in Marlette beforehand, and they were just packed. We had to park over in the football field parking lot and walk over to the school, which last night when it was like 10 degrees outside,
chilly,
it was a little cold. Yeah,
a little wind chill going on. Yeah,
Chris wouldn't share any of his. He had a scarf. No, I'm just kidding. He had a beanie on. I was wearing my hat. I was like, man, come on.
That doesn't surprise me.
We got a call coming in, and I'm not sure if this is Coach Lester or not. He was supposed to be calling in.
Okay.
Let's talk sports. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Coach. How's it going?
Coach.
Doing well. Doing well.
Big win last night. We were just talking about how you wouldn't have thought that Kingston had played their third game of the week last night.
Yeah. I was obviously concerned after I'm down to Flint emotionally and just having any kind of legs. I was actually happy with how we played last night. I thought we came out a little bit slow, but then we picked it up in a second and shot well, shot the lights out. Rebounded well, and just had a good game. Had a great week, I think.
Yeah,
it's good competition for us. So
yeah, great week, and obviously nice to see Kingston bounce back, taking that loss against USA at USA, but not letting that deter them as they come back and get a big win at Flint. So you got to feel pretty good about that as well.
I do. Yeah, that was probably the best loss that we've probably had in about 2 years to USA. That game there, you find out quickly, what you can get away with, what you can't get away with, and after that game, like I said, I thought we played about a good 12 minutes early in that game, and then we made some mistakes. In a team like USA, you make mistakes and they're going to make you pay. But we had a great short week of practice and had a couple games after that game against USA. And I just thought it's just been a great week for us, and I think we're playing well right now. So it's kind of a good time to be playing well too. So we're definitely happy, but we're not unsatisfied. We got some things to do yet, and so yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
And you just said it's kind of the best time to start playing the best basketball you can. And like I said last night, some of the names popped up on the scoring sheet. You don't see it. I mean, Hunter James, obviously he's there doing what he's got to do, but not one of those ones that have the leading score of the night, but coming out with 13 points. And then you got to be impressed with Nathan Cloyd and the way he handled Sean Quady last night. Yeah,
I was. Nate had a good week defensively. Kramer scored, I think he had 8 or 9 points against us. And then there was a kid from Flint that he guarded this week that was a really good player. Held him to 8. Actually, prior to the game against Flint, I think Cloyd shot about 8 times in 2 games combined. And I got after him. I said, hey, you're one of our best players. You got to be shooting the ball 10 to 12 times, if not more than that. He was efficient last night shooting. But, yeah, when he puts his mind to it, Nathan's one heck of a player out there. He stepped up. Hunter James had a great week. He, you guys know he's a fantastic athlete.
Oh yeah,
yes, he is.
He is just all over the floor, rebounding, and last night to get the kids from our left, but it seemed like when he got a board, he went through them. He was so much stronger. But yeah, he's just a great role player. Hunter is. He leads by an example, and like I said, I think he's playing well right now. Listen, I think we're getting to where we want to be, obviously. So it's a process, but we're getting there.
So Thursday night, Coach, you're down by 3, I think, after 3 quarters. What's that? What's that final break like for you and your team there? We talked to your team for that minute before going out for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was ironic because with about 4 seconds to go, we had made a shot at the end of the third, and they hit a half-court shot to end the third quarter. So you talk about the momentum change. Where we felt good, I guess that would have put us up or down by. No, we actually tied it.
Tied, okay.
And they hit a half-court shot at the end of the third. So, but yeah, in the fourth, we just really got some good stops defensively. We that night there we played a lot of man-to-man here against them on the first time, but down there we played some 2-3, some 1-3-1. We switched it up a lot, and just the kids have been buying in defensively. We just got some stops, and in that fourth quarter, Evan, who played about 18 minutes that night with foul trouble all night, he had a huge fourth quarter for us. He hit a three with 1:25 to go to give us our first lead, actually. And like I said, we just got some good stops, and like I said, the kids, it's really a very quiet group of kids. Sometimes as a coach, just not seeing a whole lot of emotion that drives you nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But they were so excited to be Flint. Flint's kind of had our number for a couple of years here.
Yes, they have.
And it was just a big win. It was, like I said, it's just been it's been a great week for us.
That's good.
As I said, this coming across the wire here from
Yes.
Steve Kramer. Micah had 9 against Kingston. It was the only time this year he had scored in single digits. So he said, "Shout out to
There you
Nathan
go.
Gloyd."
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah, we did a good job. But I'll tell you about Micah. If Micah he decides to be unassertive, he's a tough kid to guard. He's so fundamentally sound. But we did do a good job on him. I think we held him to 9. We held Heckroff to 4. But we didn't hold the other guys down. But yeah, like I said, we played good competition all week. There wasn't a time for us to relax between seeing the guys from say the kids from Flint, Quady from Marlette. I mean, we just didn't have a break on who we're going to guard. It was just a week where we had to be focused.
Hey, Coach, real quick, I got a question
Yep.
for you, and not more of a question, more of a statement, but you can kind of fill in the back pieces. Your
Yeah.
bench has been coming up really, really strong for you guys as of late, and bringing in valuable minutes. Obviously, 3 games this week. Tell me a little bit about that bench and the role that they play, with those bench players coming in.
We start. We start is pretty small. It's pretty much 5 guards. So all my bench guys are all big guys. Jack Green, Kreiderman, Caleb Goss, Quinn Hard. They've just been doing a great job. And that's one thing in practice. We try to make everything competitive. And if they don't push each other, you're just not going to see that. But I'm accepting roles, which I think is really, really big. There's obviously nights where you get a lot of kids who do not play at all. Other might be a night where one kid plays 12 minutes, next night he might play 2. But it's about handling your roles. It's about matchups, and those guys they understand that. And they just want to win. But our bench has just been doing a fantastic job. Those kids support each other. They don't really care who scores the points. We just want to win. Simple as that. We just want to win. And so yeah, I've just been happy with them. We're playing well.
Yeah, and when you did this week, 2 of 3, and a big game against USA as well. And good luck coming up this week, Coach. Got North Huron and Deckerville, and
yes, yep. Coach Riley and Carroll's team, congratulations on a really good year. Keep things going, keep pushing, and I hope to see you guys winning a lot more. So good luck to you.
we'll have them on here in just a few minutes. Thank you, Coach, for joining us this
Coach.
morning, and we'll
Take
talk
care,
to you
guys.
soon. I'm sure, Dave.
See you, Dave.
Yes, see you.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, Coach Dave Lester there of the Kingston Cardinals. Game of the week last night, once again knocking off Marlette, their 3rd game of the week, 67-42. And did you want to come back and get in on our interviews?
Yes.
So we will do so. We're going to take that break right now, and then we're going to put the spotlight on the Carroll girls and the coaches
All of
as
them.
well. Everybody in that corner.
Everybody in the corner.
So we're going to take that break. We're going to come back. We've got more Let's Talk Sports, Classic Rock I-92.
Partly. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 25, cloudy skies expected. 2 to 4 inches of snow tomorrow through Monday night. And that's the Thumbs Classic Rock I-92 weather forecast. I'm weatherology meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 13.
Let's get back to the only complete high school sports talk show in the Thumb. On FM, baby! Let's talk sports!
This is Ashlyn Murphy from Carroll Little League, and you're listening to Let's Talk Sports.
All right.
Remember that, Ashlyn?
That was a long time ago.
There's a throwback for you. We are back. Let's talk sports. Good morning. Chris now joining us. You probably heard his voice. I didn't get to introduce him, but Chris is here this morning. Rolling on in. Christian Zalik, Scott Bowlesby, and we got some special guests to our left. To my left right now.
To your left.
I don't know,
yeah.
camera, whatever you're looking at,
Yes.
but they're over there. We are going to actually throw things on over. Who wants to start things up? Coach?
Coach.
You want to
jump on, Coach.
You want to throw the girls on? Throw them in the fire right away.
No, we're not going to throw. Coach, step up. Come on now. We can't be that mean. But I want you to mimic what Ashlyn just said. This is Ashlyn Murphy from Carroll Little League.
I'll let her try that again.
Who did we play? Who did Ashlyn do that with?
I have
Trying to
no
remember.
idea.
Hannah Dennis.
There you go.
That's who it was.
Yes.
We played that earlier in the season. Although she's not in school anymore, but
Right.
still we throw it on there.
Coach,
Anyways,
hey, good start to the season thus far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you girls are getting off to a good roll. Tell me a little bit about coming into the season, the expectations that you've had thus far, and kind of where you're at.
Well, most of the girls now we've had for several years, and then adding in Coach Daniels this year, our coaching staff really emphasized playing defense. And we told the girls at the beginning of the year, if you buy into playing defense, we give ourselves a chance of winning a game. And for the most part, that's what they've done. And when we've been successful this year, it's been because of the defensive side of the ball.
Well, especially on the defensive side of the ball, you've gotten very vocal, right, ladies? He's pretty vocal out there when the ball stops moving, right? So tell me, but that can be a good thing, right? Tell me a little bit about the vocalness from the sideline, and how the girls respond to that, and how you work that into your practices.
I really do believe that they just block me out, so I had to yell on the sideline. But I don't know. I've never been a coach that can just sit back and just be quiet, I guess. I'm kind of an intense person, very competitive. And I'm sure they'll tell you that later on. But yeah, I mean, I feed off of them, and I think they feed off of me. When things are going good, it can get pretty loud in the gym.
It can get pretty loud, nonetheless. Tell me a little bit. We're getting ready kind of to that district area. We're getting really fast approaching. Basketball seems like it's a long season, but it's a very short in the reality of things. Tell me how you guys are preparing for that potentially district run.
We're just trying to get better each day, especially on the defense side of the ball. That's what we're continuing to preach, continue to talk about. That if we play defense like we know we can, that's when we score easy buckets, and that's when we get some rhythm and our girls shoot the ball better. So that's kind of really what we're trying to focus on, and clamp down on the defensive side. Continue to make adjustments. I still don't think we played 32 minutes of basketball yet. A complete game. We've had some quarters we've played really well, but we've had some letdowns. So, we're sitting at 8-6 right now. So that's the best run we've had in the 3 years that I've been coaching here, and it all goes to these girls. So they put the effort in, in practice.
Well, you're exactly right. It does go to the girls, and I'm not saying nothing against coaching or anything like that, but it does come down to the girls, right? I mean, it's all about what the girls put in towards practice, and kind of tell me from the coaching side of it what you think their mindset is in practice, and then what it leads to games. That was a look.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good question. We kind of witnessed this practice mentality yesterday. They were just a little off yesterday, the entire team, so it was an odd situation. But no, I think they've really, Jason's really kind of been vocal, and he's more the bad cop this year, and that kind of allows me to back off a little bit. And I really think that they enjoy that one a little bit more, and their mentality is, and they're starting to understand, if they put the work in, this is what's going to happen.
So I got a question from you. We were able to call that Carroll Laker game, and tell me a little bit about the coaching aspect of it, especially, having that stretch of no school and potentially really no practices. I mean, how hard is that to come out to the game and then all of a sudden just try to pick up where you left off?
It's definitely tough. The fact that we didn't have school for 5 days. I think we got in 2 practices. but they're not. It's not the same as if you're coming off of school where you're up moving all day. The intensity level is a little bit lower, and it's kind of what we were worried about going into the Lakers, and we weren't able to execute what we wanted to in that game.
Well, it happens, But as you said so far, sitting at 8-6 and a good season thus far, and you still have plenty of season left. So, which girl you want to throw under the bus first?
Let's start with Arabella.
Oh. Hey, Caitlin, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. You seem a little nervous.
Not at all.
Not at all. Fantastic. That is a good thing. Caitlin, tell me a little bit about, coaches, kind of smiled a little bit about the practices and stuff like that. I mean, is there potentially a certain intensity that's brought to the game or during practices, or is it just kind of real chill practices, or how do you girls kind of approach it?
Well, it kind of depends. Like, if our intensity is higher, then, like, if we have a game next day, usually, like, we're more focused. But if we don't put our intensity in, then it really shows in our games.
Well, Caitlin, tell me a little bit about the season for you. You're kind of one of those look-to girls to step up on the scoring side of things, and your presence down low. Tell me a little bit about your goals going into the season, not only yours, but team goals as well, and where you're currently at on that.
Going into the season, I was honestly really nervous because I still didn't think I had the potential that I didn't have my first freshman and sophomore year. But now, like, into the season, I've built my confidence, and Jay has really helped me, like, never give up on myself, even, like, when I'm really upset during the games and stuff, like not finishing down in the post and stuff.
So you're talking about not finishing down on the post and stuff, and I'm going to bring this up because I have to. I know Jay's over here like, oh, come on now. You've had some easy shots that have been missed and contested. Do you think about that stuff in the middle of the game, or do you just say, okay, hey, it's missed, next one?
I definitely think of it during the game. I get down on myself really easy. Like USA, I was really upset during halftime, and Coach stepped up and talked to me, both coaches, and helped me out, and Lily really helped me get out of my head a little bit so I could focus more in the game, and ended up coming out.
That's always a good thing. So
hey, real quick, where were all these misses when you played me?
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
She built them up just for you.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Right. So Caitlin, out of the entire team, which girl would you say is the most mother-like figure on the floor? Lily. It wasn't even a hesitation. It was just like Lily.
Lily.
Right away, Lily.
Yep.
Okay. There was no doubt about that, right?
She has been ever since my freshman year.
Kind of take you under the wing type girl, and just help build you up. Make sure you try not to do any wrong.
Yep.
Gotcha. So when the season starts, you guys you're 8-6. Tell me in your mindset, what does the outlook look like for you girls right now?
I think it's looking good, especially compared to our last 2 years. It's been horrible, but I'm really liking this season.
Hey, you're honest. There's no beating around the bush on that one, and you're right. The last couple of years haven't been the best, but you girls have definitely stepped up and added a lot of wins to that win column that are much needed, and gives a lot of getting the recognition that the Carroll girls basketball program deserves now finally. So. Do you want to keep going? I mean, I can keep going all day long.
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
Thank you.
Which girl? Who's stepping up? Who's stepping up? Lily. Lily's stepping up. Lily, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, you've won an Athlete of the Week once already. You were very humble about that. Apparently, you're the mother figure here on the team. You kind of lay down do you lay down the law or no? Is that how it goes?
No, I'd kind of just take the girls aside sometimes, and I'm like, all right, let's go. We got to do this. Like, you're okay. Like, shake it off. Let's go.
Tell me a little bit about your role on the team and how you help the coaches out as well on the floor.
Well, when the coaches, when the players aren't listening to the coach, I mean, not necessarily not listening, but.
Does that happen a lot? Hold on. Does that happen a lot? Time out. Does that happen a lot?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just when something's just not clicking just like that, or something like that, I just bring the girls to the side. I'm like, all right, we need to step up. We need to do this. We need to hustle back, get on defense, get back for help side whenever there's a breakaway. You know, just got to keep the positive attitudes high and stuff like that. So
and that's one of the things, right? I mean, you always have to have that leader that can step up and help out in game time situations, and I'm sure both coaches can attest to that. You need that girl to step up and really say, hey, listen, you know, you've got to help us focus, whatever that may be, or, you know, just to kind of brush it off. So another question for you, Lily. Pre-game routines. Is there a pre-game routine that you do every single game?
Not me personally. I don't know. The team, when we go into the classroom or the locker room, it gets really loud. We start just kind of screaming, just getting really excited. I don't know. Like, we don't really.
Jay, you're into that? Do you start this off? Is it like a chant? Is it a chant? Oh.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
We just get in there, get really excited, kind of jumped around.
I was thinking for a second Coach Riley was one that was starting all this up like screaming. I'm like, okay, well, things are getting a little intense in there, but.
No.
All right, so besides the pregame routine, who is the funniest girl on the team?
Olivia Craig. She's not here today, but she's a jokester.
She's the jokester, huh?
Oh yeah.
So who has, and I'm going to ask this from a player's standpoint, and not necessarily ask the coach, who has the most potential, but it hasn't come out yet? Do you think?
Personally, I've really seen Olivia Bringard when she is, you know, on her game. Like, she's really good. Hasn't had a great season so far, but I definitely see that starting to come out more and more.
So, Lillian, I got another question for you. Being the older sister to two brothers, what's that like?
Oh, it's a hassle, that's for sure.
It's a hassle, that's for sure.
No, I love them both, though. They're both sweethearts. It's definitely...
Is that where the mom aspect comes out?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to miss them a lot next year when I go away to college, so...
Toughest place to play, or the worst place you...
I don't know. Vassar's got a pretty harassing student section, but
Christian saying yes they do. Yes they do.
It's fun sometimes though, especially knowing a lot of the people from Vassar. They joke around with you and you just kind of give them that look back, like, really, come on. But
she held her own.
That's a good thing. You're not harassing them back way on the court, are you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had 4 free throw attempts and made all 4, and they just kept saying stuff to me, and I was like, all right, it's all good.
The most outgoing girl on the team?
I'd honestly have to say Olivia Craig again.
Oh, man.
She's a wild one.
She's a wild one. Uh-oh.
We love her, that's for sure.
Should have brought her in.
Yeah, should have. Coach Riley's like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, she's a wild one, but we love her.
That's awesome. So who you throwing on the bus next?
I'm gonna throw Kendall under the bus. Leave Ashlyn for last.
Uh-oh.
Hey, actually, we gotta make a correction. It's never under a bus, though.
Okay. All right. Perfect. True. I get it.
Director's son.
There you go. Yeah.
We're not talking about the under the bus stuff.
Yeah. All right. No under the buses. We'll put it under a milk truck. How about that? All right. Perfect.
Under a fire truck.
Under a fire truck? All right. Even better yet. Here, I can help you with that, Kendall. There. How's that? Is that all right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yep.
All right.
First one here, so.
Hey, that's not always a bad thing.
No.
Kendall, tell me a little bit about your role on the team.
My role is I'm more of a defensive player, which kind of everybody knows. I'm not a big scorer or anything, which I'm all right with because defense personally is my favorite part of the game. So I just like to be scrappy and get after it on like the defensive side of the ball.
Well, that as a coach, you guys got to be happy as a coach, right? I mean, there's not a lot of girls out there that really like to get after it on defense. But that's also a scary thing as well.
I was going to say her sister was the same way. McKaylee was kind of scrappy on the defensive side as well.
And that's a scary thing. Scott and I always talk about it on the air, and it's one thing I never want to do is get tangled up in a loose ball with a girl.
That.
Done. No, that's one thing I don't want to do. So being defensive is always a good thing. Who is one of the players that you love to play defense against that's in the conference, or that you have played against? I don't want to necessarily say in the conference.
That I have played against. I liked playing against the USA guards. They were fun to play against because they were faster. And then I liked playing against North Branch too.
So I don't know if this is probably it may not change your answer, but who's the most challenging girl that you've had to play defense against?
I don't know. I have to think. I forget who we play.
All blur.
Challenging.
Coach Riley, is there anybody that sticks out to you? Not really. Maybe a challenge.
I would say the girl from the point guard for the Lakers. She can
Yeah,
handle the ball pretty
yeah,
good.
Okay,
she's
yeah.
good. She's
All
good.
holes, yeah.
She's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen Reese yet either. So
Yeah, we
yeah.
haven't played
Yeah.
Reese, so
Okay.
Kenny's gonna
Yep.
get a mixture of matchups against them and figure out which one she's gonna have fun.
You'll have a good defensive night. You're gonna they'll make sure you're moving across the floor. That's for sure. So not necessarily so on the offensive end, but we'll stick with you on the defensive end. What when you're in a girl's, I mean, when you get in a girl's face defensively, I mean, what does another girl think about that? I mean, you literally, I've seen a lot of girls get in faces. I mean, is it a lot of girls take it personal or?
I think so. Girls are sensitive, as a lot of people know. So I think when
You looked at Coach Riley. Hold on a second. Does he say that to you girls in practice a lot?
We had to talk about this yesterday about how girls can be a lot sensitive, or a lot more sensitive than guys. So I guess it depends on the person. Some girls will probably take it personal, and others are probably just like, yeah, it's basketball, it just happens.
Have you ever had those the girls when you get in their face and maybe a 5-second call or jump ball or turnover where I see this in the boys a little bit more where they kind of give you that shoulder bump as they walk on by you?
Yeah, there's been a couple of those.
Yeah. But that's got to be great for you as a player, right? As a defensive player, where you're just like, yeah, I did my job. Coaches knew that was the correct thing, and hey, you know what? Even if you shoulder bump, maybe you get to go to the line down on the other end.
Yeah.
Right. Score a couple points. Highlight of your season thus far, Kendall.
I mean, I liked the Vassar game because so far it's been my highest scoring game. I scored 8 points, which isn't a lot, but it's a lot for me. So I liked that the other night, and I didn't do too bad on defense. So when I can do good on both sides, that's always fun.
Personal goals that you had coming into this season, and have you achieved them?
I wanted to score more, which I think I've scored more this year than I did last year. I mean, it's still not a lot, but it's more than I have been in the past years. And then I think this year has definitely been my best defensive year because I've been on varsity for 2 years. My senior year, I wanted to kind of go out with a bang and just go all out.
The team goals that you girls had coming into this year, have you met them yet? Or have you achieved them yet?
We haven't achieved them yet, but, I mean, we still got 5 games left, so we can. We wanted to double-digit wins this year after the past 2 seasons have been rough, and I think everybody we really wanted to win this year, and with the mentalities with the girls on the team, it's very achievable.
Well, yeah, definitely achievable. Obviously, sitting at 8-6 right now, a couple more W's obviously gets you to that 10-mark goal, but kudos to you girls so far. A very, very good season after the last 2 seasons have been kind of rough for you. So, moving on, one more question for you, okay? The worst student section you hate to play in front of, excluding Vassar, because we all know that you hate to play in Vassar. Is there another student section at all?
Yeah, Frankenmuth was
Frankenmuth?
tough when we were in the TVC. They were tough to play against.
Frankenmuth's that student section. You're like, just shut up, quiet down. Don't want to hear it. All right, Ashlyn, do you want to come on here?
Let's go, Ash.
Uh-oh. I ask no questions now, guys. You're all up. No, I'm joking.
What?
Ashlyn, how you doing?
Good.
Good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good. Fantastic.
Play that cut again, would you?
Yeah, one more time. Hit it.
No.
No.
She says no, thank you. Ashlyn, tell me a little bit about your role on the team here.
I'm not really sure what my role on the team is. I'm kind of just there to.
Just coasting along.
That
your
is the best response.
That's awesome.
I'm just there to kind of keep everything upbeat and I guess score a little bit when I need to.
Is that the correct response, Coach Riley?
Yes.
He says we'll see you in practice. We'll talk about this, is what he was saying right there. Ashlyn, we know that you're a heck of a softball player, a pretty good softball player, I guess, from what I hear. I'm not really sure. Right. You're okay. All right. So you're pretty decent a multi-sport athlete. Tell me how that has helped you transition into the basketball side of things.
I guess I don't know.
Stumped her.
Yeah.
Boom, just like that.
It's too early in the morning for that, Chris.
Yeah.
I know.
I guess I get a lot of confidence from playing other sports, and that kind of brings me down in basketball, actually, because I'm, like, used to being better at volleyball and softball. But it shows me, I don't know, that you have to work hard to get to where you want to be, because I've played softball for, like, 9 years, so I've definitely worked a lot harder at that. So I definitely know you have to work hard to get where you want to be. And I'm not there in basketball, but, that's okay.
That's all right, right? Coach Riley will take that. It's all right. We understand. He says, but work a little harder. You'll be okay. No. Ashlyn, going into the season, did you have any goals at all basketball-wise that you wanted to achieve? And have you achieved them?
Well, at the beginning of the season, I didn't really have any goals. I just kind of started playing. But I definitely wanted to do better than I did last year, and I wanted to play more, so that led to working harder in practices and games.
So just working harder.
Yeah, that was my goal.
See, there's nothing wrong with that, because if you work harder, the harder you work, obviously, typically, the better you're going to get, and the better you get, the better you should be able to play, right? And that's exactly what it comes down to. So the pregame rituals that some players do beforehand, is there anything that really you do before a game at all? She turns around, looks at Kendall, smiles.
Before games, me and Kendall, we go to Subway, then we go back to my house and we put on some hard rock music and we headbang. That gets us pumped.
Wow.
That's, I mean,
I actually
like
got
the
whiplash
details.
from it.
Boom.
But
You get whiplash from it.
yeah.
Does she step onto the court like kind of half of it a little bit, Coach? Or
She's got some time to get back.
oh, okay, all right, okay.
That's awesome.
So Kendall, is that so? I guess on the defensive side of things for you, I mean, do you get whiplash out of this too, or no?
No, I don't get whiplash.
Oh, okay. So it's just Ashlyn. She's over here headbanging, and she's like, "Oh man, my neck, not again."
So our Metallica intro is good for them.
Yeah, right.
apparently.
Yeah. Ashlyn, the toughest place you've ever had to play at?
Carlton was kind of a tough gym because it was so hot in there and it was very slippery. And we came out with a loss because I think that kind of had something to do with it. And our defense wasn't the best that game.
Your favorite food that you like to eat?
I literally will eat anything. I like Big Macs. I like crab legs. I like steak.
It's like
Man.
McDonald's to crab legs.
She's like
tacos.
McDonald's to Red Lobster to.
I love Chipotle. My favorite drink is McDonald's Coke.
That's your favorite drink?
Yeah.
McDonald's Coke. Boom, large. Get it to me every time.
I get that.
$1.06.
Exactly. See,
Exactly.
she's like, oh yeah, by the way, Dad, I need $1.06 for the rest of the week, and that's gonna equal out. Just hand me a 20, Dad. We'll be okay, right?
Yep.
Is that see? That's the way it works.
So that's how I get money out of them, right?
That's how you get money out of them. You just gotta go tell them you're gonna go get a Coke.
There you go. All right. I'm gonna work that now.
So, Ashlyn, heading into the season, you girls aren't done. Tell me a little bit about how the girls have kind of come together to make this the season that you have so far.
This team has like a very close bond, and there's no drama ever. So I feel like that really contributes to our record and how we're doing a lot better this season. This is the team that I've been on that has had the best bond ever, and it's just great to be able to come and play with all your friends, and we're just like one big family. So that's very nice.
Well, senior year, kind of going out with a bang thus far. Actually, having a very, very good year. Tell me a little bit about how you see this senior year kind of playing out for you. Maybe not just in basketball, but all the way through. And has it been to the, I'm not going to say an expectation, but has it been to a level that you've seen it come to so far?
Yeah, senior year has definitely reached my expectation. Like starting in volleyball, we did a lot better than I expected. And coming out in basketball, I didn't really know what to expect, but we definitely are doing a lot better than last year and the year before. And I expect that to happen in softball too, just because of the bond and just
the teams get along so good. So the senior year is definitely one to remember.
You got quite a few seniors here on the team. Tell me kind of in your outlook, the girls coming up next year, on who do you think is going to be that step-up girl for Coach Riley?
Well, he still has Ellie and Reagan and Caitlin, which they are key players on the team. So other girls that are going to step up would probably be...
Who's on our team? Did you just say who's on our team? Okay, that's
yeah,
what, okay. I just wanted to make sure that's what I heard. But
there's some girls on the JV team that I think will step up, like Destiny and Alyssa Corian and Katie Sharge.
So with that being said, one name that we need to watch out for next year from the Carroll girls basketball team.
It's definitely Ellie Hornbacher.
Definitely Ellie Hornbacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna be good next year.
She's gonna be good next year.
Yeah.
Caitlin, step up real quick. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Let's see if you were over here with like Coach. You're like, man, I am nervous. Like my hands are shaking.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
right,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll keep this easy. Carroll has I'm going to bring this up now. Carroll has a good tradition in the wrestling program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you think any of those wrestlers could play basketball?
One of them, yeah, DJ Daniels used to. But
Who's that?
He's a really
Ever heard of
good
that?
champ.
He's
Are
okay.
you saying
He's
play
okay.
basketball in
Yeah.
general or against them?
In general,
You
just
talking
in
about
general,
scrapping with the
yeah.
girls?
Oh no, I wouldn't. No, we won't even put that in the same conversation. We won't put that in the same conversation. One of the, I don't know if you want to answer this. It's totally up to you. Your the senior class. Okay, so I want you to think to the senior class. Who is the most athletic girl in the senior class that you can think of?
It's definitely like a battle between Lily and Ashlyn, I think, because they both do a lot of, like like volleyball, basketball, and softball. So like but they get along and they work really good together.
The male side of things, who would be up there? Do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think DJ Daniels, especially because of how far he's been going in wrestling and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Scotty, you want to take a little break?
Did you want to take a break, or do you want to?
Did you want to ask her who on the basketball team could wrestle?
Well, we could. Yeah, well,
Craig.
boom.
Olivia Craig.
Olivia Craig.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think that was going to be a question.
Yeah.
Clean
Most
sweep.
outgoing. Yeah, she's just like, I'll take that. Thank you.
She's strong.
She's strong.
Yep.
All right.
All right, we'll take a break.
Well, hold on. With that being said, who would win, DJ Daniels or Olivia Craig?
Olivia Craig.
Oh, all right. There it is.
Dream match right there.
There it is.
All right, we're going to take that break. We're going to come back. Got more Let's Talk Sports Classic Rock on 92.
school sports talk show in the Thumb. On FM, baby. Let's talk sports.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bob. I'm from Team Majestic for my life. Let's go back to more Let's Talk Sports with Kristen, Scott, and Chris.
There we go.
Boom. Boom, man.
Bob, I saw you trying to call, man. We are busy this morning.
You know he's not listening anymore.
I know, he turned us off. Maybe we'll be able to slip you in towards the end.
Yes.
So I know you have an announcement to make. Or
He probably dropped a few words at you and said...
I'm sure he did.
He was probably upset because you did not eat his popcorn last night.
Hey, don't say
I
that.
ate it.
He
I ate
did eat his popcorn.
Chris had a handful. Don't even make
Oh,
him.
my goodness.
Don't make him sound like he is.
I had a handful.
Don't throw me under the whatever.
I would have eaten your popcorn, Bob.
No,
No,
okay.
he wouldn't have.
All right, no.
No, he wouldn't have.
No.
No, he wouldn't have.
He had a
would've not
handful.
eaten.
That was it.
Yeah.
There was. I drank your water, though.
He
That
did.
was- that was delicious.
Water was good.
I took one home with me.
That's right.
See, Bob used to bring me T-shirts.
He doesn't do that anymore.
know.
Wait, no, he's
Well, we
calling.
brought him T-shirts.
Yeah. He used to bring me T-shirts.
Uh-oh.
Just take them on.
I know.
Take them on.
I can see the phone light up.
Just do it.
I think he's calling. Yes,
Go
there he
ahead.
is.
There he is.
Let's talk sports. Good morning.
This is Bob.
Hey, Bob.
What's up, Bob?
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I had a hard time getting through at first
I know we were doing some interviews. We're sorry about that.
because you guys are busy. I'm talking.
We're busy.
Did you hear that Wilcox didn't eat your popcorn?
Huh?
Did you hear that Chris didn't eat your popcorn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get you chew me out, but Chris doesn't eat your popcorn. You're like, yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Oh, whatever. I give you popcorn. I give it you water.
Yeah, but if I don't eat the popcorn, you yell at me. If Chris doesn't eat the popcorn, you're just like, whatever. It's okay.
It's because Bob and I were tight. He's okay with that.
I gave him shirts.
How's it going, Bob?
Okay.
Did you have something to? Did you want to announce your exciting news about you and Tom Gilchrist?
Yeah, did you hear about that, Kristen?
No, I didn't. You have to tell me.
I got through in the state
Third in the state.
You did?
The story about Bob.
For that story?
about that story.
That's awesome.
You know
And
what?
they could do another story about me.
Well, that must be why then you were at the football finals.
You're famous.
They could
Yes.
do another story about me on the Duke Banana Road for Kinders book.
Oh, really?
Hey, Bob.
That's a
Tom.
Tom
told me the other guy.
Okay.
Bob, did you hear what the judge said about you?
Huh?
Did you hear what the judge said about you? The judge that judged
Yeah.
the stories? He said that you're his hero now.
Yep.
It's whatever. Yep.
Of course.
Hey, Kristen,
Yes, sir.
how's Kaylee doing?
She's doing pretty darn good.
Does she have to have therapy too?
She's in therapy right now. I saw her last Friday when I played Birch Run, and she's still limping along a little bit, but she's back at school and getting better every day.
Oh, good, because I keep trying to get home. She won't answer the phone.
Oh, I'm sure she's busy, so.
Sleeping.
Yep.
Resting up.
She's probably busy.
Yes, she is.
Nobody's too busy for you, though, Bob.
I know that.
Oh, Bob, it was good seeing you last night, and hopefully you enjoyed the shirts.
Yep.
And I'm sure
I
we'll.
guess I did, though.
What's that?
I think I left them at school.
You left?
You can't leave those around.
Somebody will find them.
Somebody will find them and take them.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'll have to get you some new ones, I guess. All right, Bob.
Just give me a couple more.
Well, yeah, why not?
Sure, why not?
It's like waters and popcorn, right? They're just hand them out. Hand them
it's
out.
free.
Hand them out.
Yep.
All right, Bob. Well, you have a good weekend, man, and I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you.
See you, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
Yeah, third in the state story about Bob Gilchrist did in the open class. That was everybody. Lansing State Journal beat it, and it was a story about Larry Nasser, and then another story about a wrongly accused inmate that when he got out,
Yes.
him and his lawyer were both killed or
Yes.
both died, murdered, whatever. Those two beat it. So there was, the big Nasser story, the wrongly convicted, and then Bob.
Yes.
Boom.
As he finished, the story finished third, and the judge did say, Bub is my hero. So there you go. And thanks to Bub last night as well for taking care of us, Chris Clark, and everybody in Marlette.
Yeah,
So
did a fantastic job. As usual, Bub.
Definitely. So where are we heading now? Did you...
Coach Daniels, you want to step up?
Sure.
Absolutely. Coach, tell me a little bit about your role as a co-coach here. Well, not co-coach, assistant coach here on the team.
Right. Before the season started, Jay and I talked, and I told him, I'll come and, help out, and then it kind of evolved into, he's my assistant coach. He's my assistant coach. So that's kind of the way that evolved. But no, it's been good, and some of my philosophy are, you win basketball games on defense. So that's been, what I've stressed to the girls since, day one, and they've really stepped up and, done a real good job.
So you're on the defensive side of things. So I'm assuming when you see Kendall out there just guarding, you're loving every minute of it, right?
I love it. My philosophy is we're going to be in your face for 32 minutes, and if we have to go 4 extra, we'll be in it for 36.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I mean, the defensive side of things, especially when you can bring it, is always the best. Tell me a little bit, girls. You were talking about how Coach Daniels tells you to shoot the three.
No,
is that? Oh, do not shoot the three. Oh, do not shoot the three.
Only inside shots.
Oh, only inside shots. Ashlyn says yes, shoot it. Everybody else says no.
That's been a struggle all year. We've been going back and forth. That's been a battle. But no, my philosophy on the three-pointer, from the beginning, I talked to Coach Riley, and they shot 284 of them last year and made 18%. So if you're not getting the offensive rebound, that three-pointer usually leads to a long rebound and transition the other way. And so if we're not a real good three-point shooting team, I didn't want to give up easy buckets the other way. So that's kind of been the philosophy, and they've probably cut it in half, I would say. I think we average, 7 a game maybe. So, I think, everything like that, contributes to W's in the win columns. It's just the little things.
Well, speaking of the little things a lot, most of the games that we have watched or we've called, a lot of the points have come in the paint area or in the lane. I'm assuming that's contributing to the factor of don't shoot the three.
Right, they're looking, they're looking to pass and cut rather than, and I tell them, I said, you get teams play a 2-3 zone on you. Why do you think they're doing that? They want you to shoot outside. They don't want you to beat them. They don't want you to beat them in the paint. And, they've adapted to the philosophy, fairly well. There's got to be a little give and take. So we allow a few three-pointers, I guess, keep them happy. But
and there's nothing wrong with that. You can shoot a couple here and there.
Right.
So with that being said, who's the best three-point shooter you got on the team?
Well,
Jay looks around like,
We only have one that's shooting 100% in the field for the year behind the arc, and that's Lily.
One for one. Okay. All right.
1 for 1 at Northbridge.
Yeah. So Lily can just keep shooting. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, I prefer no, but we'll be at the at the boys basketball games, and they'll in Carroll, and they'll be it'll be halftime, and they'll go out and shoot for the 2-liter, and a couple of girls go out there, they shoot them, and they make sure when they make one win that 2-liter that they find me in the stands and point that out. So
hey, by the way, right here, Coach, right here.
They hold up the 3 sign and look right at me. There you go. See that?
Be like in your face. Tell me a little bit about your working relationship with Coach Riley.
It's been good. I've I as the assistant, he's the head man, but I bring some of the philosophies that when I played that I used, our coaches used, and it's a good he listens to everything that I have to say, and whether we use it or not, it's ultimately his call. But for the most part, it's a collaborative effort, and the relationship's great.
Coach Riley, I got a quick question for you, and I really haven't asked this before. Who is one of those? I guess you could use Christian over here if you want. It's totally up to you. Who is one of those head coaches that you like to match up against with their team? I mean, just try to outcoach them. I mean, what team out there or head coach do you just you like it just because they're good, defensive mind, offensive mind, whatever it may be?
Well, I liked our first matchup this year. it was the first time I ever matched up with Altamont. So that was an interesting matchup, for me for the first time. That's a legend, and that's who we opened up the year with. Welcome to the Greater Thumb. I've really enjoyed my matchups over the year with Bryce Fromm from USA. We sat and chatted during the JV game the other night, and a lot of similar mindsets we both have there. That's probably the most recent one that I can think of.
Okay. Coach Daniels, kind of on your perspective, how does that, can you relate to Coach Riley on those coaches? As far as going up against those coaches in a mindset such as that?
Yeah, you know what? It's always nice to, maybe not for us sometimes because we don't come out on the, with the W, but it's nice to see coaches that have been coaching for a number of years and have been successful to, see how they handle things at different times of the game. And, that's something that, both Coach Jay and I can, we can learn from it. We don't know everything about basketball. And, if we can pick up pointers of good things that coaches do along the way, that's, more tools in our toolbox to, prepare our team better and, be able to handle different situations.
Coaches, do you try to, I don't know, Christian, maybe you could even touch in on this. Do you guys as coaches try to maybe mimic or shadow a certain program that you see out there that's successful doing things?
Oh, definitely. If you're not stealing stuff, you're not coaching. I told my brother the other day, this one inbounds play that we used against Carrollton is an inbounds play I stole from Deshetsky over in North Branch years ago. It's just, if you're not stealing stuff and trying to mimic another program, a Sandusky, a Frankenmuth, something like that, you're just not doing it correctly.
Yeah, I would probably assume the same thing.
Yeah,
Coach.
Absolutely. There's a lot of coaches that spend a lot of time coaching, a lot of years, so definitely able to pick up some of the stuff. They're over here making fun of me because we picked up our warm-up from Sandusky at the beginning of the year, went and watched them, and they didn't like it at first, but now they really, it gets the ball movement, they get a lot of shots up, so they really like that. But absolutely, I've been coaching for 10 years and been watching Keller, for 10 years, so he's a big one that, I've learned a lot from and have relied on asking opinions and stuff, and it's a lot easier now, not in the conference, he's a little more open about stuff, but, if I have a coaching question or philosophy or program question, he's definitely was a big help for me when I first started off, 3 years ago.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask the girls to come up one by one. All right. And we have Coach Riley over here. We have Coach Daniels over here. So the coach that you listen to the most, Caitlin, the coach you listen to the most.
The coach I listen to the most is probably Coach Daniels, just because he helps me out more on the posts. So like I'll listen to him for the post moves, but when I'm up being a 3, then I listen to Jay more.
Okay. Lily?
Well, I've had Jay for 4 years, all 4 years of high school, because he coached me for JV my freshman year. I don't know. I do listen to them both. I get a lot of pointers from defense from Coach Daniels, but Jay's really given me a lot of confidence these past 4 years, so I do listen to both of them pretty equally.
Kendall?
Well, I just have to say probably, I don't know, it's split 50-50, but kind of leaning more towards Coach Daniels just because the defensive side of the ball is my focus, and that's what he's big into also, so he helps me a lot with that.
Ashlyn?
Mine would have to be manager Jenna Topham and audit girl Leah Daniels. I'm just kidding.
Boom.
It would probably be. Oh, that's a hard question.
And it's not to make you decide with one coach. I'm just curious.
To Jay more because Coach Daniels tells me not to shoot threes, and I do it anyways.
I want to pull the trigger. Coaches, you got a pretty good relationship, obviously, with the girls. You guys can kind of joke around, whatnot, and you can still get them to listen. I would assume, Coach Riley, is that correct or no?
Absolutely. This year has been night and day difference in the last 2 years. Like they said at the beginning, this group is so close that it's been, pretty cut and dry. That they're so close. They've got such good relationships. It's a lot easier to have this interaction. And it's one thing I was talking with USA's coach. You know, he was impressed by the interaction. He said that's the stuff that the kids are going to remember when they get out of basketball, get out of high school. And that's basically what we're here for. I mean, yeah, we want to win games and everything, but it's about, you know, life lessons and everything like that. And this group, as challenging as some of them may be,
Do not look at me.
Yeah,
it's definitely an enjoyable year. And definitely, I don't want this year to end.
Well, that's a good thing, right? Aw. So what are you getting them for Valentine's, Coach?
We're going to get a W over Reese.
Boom.
Okay.
He called it. I guess the interview's done now.
Can't think of a better thing than that.
Hey, that's no, cool. Absolutely. Well,
I like flowers.
I like flowers. You hear this? Flowers.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, that would
be awesome.
Absolutely. Well, hey, ladies, thank you for coming on in. Coaches, thank you for coming on in. You still not finished. You got a lot of business and work to do. So good luck the rest of the season, and go pull out some more W's. Obviously, get to that double-digit win mark, and see where you guys push on from districts and go from there. So congratulations, ladies. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, coaches.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thanks.
We ran out of commercials, so.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
I can take another commercial if you want to, so we can wrap things up.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Whatever you want to do.
We'll take one more commercial break.
Okay.
Just a quick one, and then we'll come back and wrap things up. Let's talk sports. Got plenty of games to run through and all that good stuff, so stick around.
The Army National. Let's get back to the only complete high school sports talk show in the thumb. On FM, baby. Let's talk sports.
We are back. Let's talk sports. Classic Rock I-92. Chris, talk real quick.
Am I there?
Yes, okay.
Perfect, okay.
I just want to make sure I turned down the right mic. Are you there still, Christian?
Yes, I am. Why does my voice sound so weird?
Okay, we're all still good then.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that?
Echo in my voice.
Yeah. The voice changer 2000.
You sound like Shaq. Hey, guys. He was on
I'm Steel.
Dan Patrick the other day.
Oh.
He was hilarious on there.
Did you ever watch that movie, Steel?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, brutal.
Anything that Shaq was in was...
But it's still a superhero movie, so I still gotta watch it when it's on.
What about Shazam or whatever that was?
Shazam.
Remember that Shaq movie?
Oh.
Lord. Oh, anyways.
And speaking of which, I don't think that new Shazam's going to be any good.
I mean, anything that they try to recreate doesn't seem as good. See the new Child's Play trailer come out yesterday?
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah. It's going to be more violent.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's more new age, the horror movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
I mean, I got to believe it's going to be more realistic with the new CGI, the way it's done, so it might not look so bad.
Yeah, well,
but I hope they still have the.
He looks the doll looks more real, I guess.
I still hope they have the same voice to win the doll. No, that would.
He didn't talk, so I couldn't tell you that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was no talking involved.
Yeah, because that would be classic.
It'll be interesting for sure. You got to have that new tech spin to it.
Well,
right?
yeah, and it's gonna be bloodier, and
Right.
they're gonna show guts and gore and all that good stuff. But we'll see. We'll see how they do on that one. I'm kind of excited. It's the same people that brought you the new It movie, which did good. So
yes,
we'll see how that goes.
Then we're gonna have a Child's Play 2, Bride of Chucky.
Well, yeah, you got to recreate them all.
Exactly.
Anyways, before we get too far off track here, because we're a little over time, but hey, thank you to the Carroll girls coming in. Had a good time with them this morning, as well as Coach Riley and Coach
Daniels.
Thank you. Yes, I couldn't think of their names.
It's all right.
I just knew that the girls were in here. That's all that matters. But nonetheless,
He's listening to you right now, going, "Oh, thanks a lot."
Yeah, no, I mean the stars of the show. I guess
exactly.
the stars of the show were.
Who cares about Jay?
Yeah. See, now the truth comes out after he walks out of the building.
He didn't like coach against me, obviously, so screw him.
But we have plenty of basketball that happened besides our game of the week last night. There was North Branch did play last night.
Boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get the stats, but I got the score.
I didn't pull up the Flint Journal score, so that's my apology on that.
I just jumped on the MHSAA site and looked.
So I'd look in the Tuscola County Advertiser, but they don't have anything from last night.
No.
Okay.
Which they get the stats. Adam's got the stats. He gets them emailed to him. Okay. I don't. For some reason, Coach Snowblin didn't add me into his email list this year. So hopefully he's listening. Maybe he's listening. Maybe he can email him over. sports@classicrockI92.com.
You want to talk about a fiery coach? He's a fiery coach.
There's a couple out there that
he's a fiery coach.
You could say that.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You could say that. Yes.
Jay Riley sent me laughing faces.
Very. It'd be between Riley and him for most vocal coach. I mean,
you haven't seen the Cassidy girls coach yet.
True, I have not.
No.
I have not.
Jay is quiet compared to Snowblin.
True.
Jay is quiet compared to
Justin Ketterer from Cass City. Have you seen him coach yet?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
He's pretty animated.
Scrimmage him.
He is animated. Yes, if you get a chance to see him, it's a show. It's definitely a full show. You get a full thing there. But shout out to him.
Nobody's Denny Gruber yet, but Snowblin's probably close.
Gruber still has a pull when he's sitting on the bleachers, so
he's still in the ref's ear.
Oh yes,
he's just sitting there enjoying the game.
And still red faced.
Yeah,
but he's not like loud about it. He's just sitting there like he's talking like a coach and right into the ear of the official and. Yeah, he's trying to get the call changed.
You know when you play or when you officiate over in Reese, you actually look around to see where Gruber's at because you don't want to be rotating and have to end up giving the inbounds pass in front of him because you already know you're going to get the earful, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Again, thank you to Coach Riley, Coach Daniels, and we had Lillian Hessling in here, Ashlyn Murphy, Kendall Root, and
Caitlin Arbello.
Thank you, Caitlin Arbello, and Ellie Hornbacher. We'll have to try to get her in sometime this season because she was pretty bummed that she couldn't make it in this time around. So might have to do a round 2 of this and get Olivia Craig and DJ Daniels in here and have the
might have a wrestling match right here. Who knows?
Here. All right, so we did have some games last night. We're going to run through those. We had some double headers going on, boys and girls, North Branch at Algonac. North Branch boys, 64-28 was the final in that ball game. North Branch getting the big win over Algonac as they keep rolling right along. The girls' side did lose 47-31, so another big win for North Branch in the BWAC, Blue Water Area Conference.
And, we were talking a little bit before the show as well. And I think my money, at least for me anyways, is still on Riley Bugg for probably player of the year at this time. I know Gabe Robbins is making a good push, going to get some votes, but I just like Riley Bugg because he gets all those rebounds as well. I mean, the scoring averages are within a point, 22.6 and Bugg at 21.7, but Bugg averages over 10 rebounds a game. That's where I'm falling.
When you're averaging a double like that, your name's got to go into the conversation. And not only that, but he's been having a really good year too.
He has, and we did get to see him, and they did beat Kingston, which is a good win on the resume as well. He wasn't leading scorer, but he played good in that game. And North Branch, just a long, big team that's going to disrupt people, and they knocked off. Croslex. They were able to take care of them, and they had another big win earlier in the season. I'm trying to think.
You know, it's kind of surprising to take a look at their record and actually see where they're at, and you step back and you go, for the size that they have on the team and some of the athleticism that they have on the team, you're surprised that the record is maybe not a little bit better than what it is. I think that they're like 500-ish or just shy of or just over, I think. And it's kind of surprising. I mean, they have a lot of length on the floor, the floor, and we saw that against Kingston. And I think that's kind of what hurt Kingston a little bit as well, is just a size matchup.
Yeah, they couldn't get anything down low. Right. They couldn't shoot from the outside. That was an issue in that game, and North Branch just exploited it, and they took the win. And they've I don't want to say struggled in the BWAC a little bit, but they're 7-5 in the BWAC and 12-6 overall, so they've had a nice non-league schedule, but it's just in the BWAC where they've struggled a little bit. Richmond's having a good year over in the BWAC right now, 10-1. Elmont always tough at 8-3. So it's just one of those things, getting a new conference and getting used to the way that the conference plays.
Right.
Yeah, and both losses, or they had 2 losses to Elmont this year, and then they also lost to Richmond, I do believe, twice this year as well. But they're close losses, so I mean that's something to hang your hat on. But tough conference, and that there's a lot of good teams over there in the BWAC, or at least the standings would say so. So we'll see what North Branch can keep doing in the BWAC side of things. Speaking of the BWAC, Croslex, Emily City last night. It was the Emily City girls knocking off Croslex 43-39. And then the boys side of things, it was Croslex getting the win 49-38. And we saw or heard the Croslex girls came to town and played against Kingston and lost that game. Kingston had a big win over Croslex. So a good non-conference victory there for the Kingston Lady Cards. Elsewhere, we had K-Pac Ubley. I know that the K-Pac boys did beat Ubley 54-37 last night. We got stats from Coach Boers, but they were for the K-Pac. They're for the K-Pac Marlette game, which obviously was not the right game because we were in Marlette last night, so we knew where the boys were. So they did get the victory in that game in the Greater Thumb East, and then after that in the Greater Thumb, a game in the Greater Thumb East that kind of surprised me in the score when you showed it to me. Harbor Beach knocking off Sandusky 52-34, just taking it to Sandusky last night. Again, Greater Thumb East, very, very, very difficult to figure out.
Well, Harbor Beach right now, I think they're smelling blood and want to get that rematch back against K-Pac for the pretty much probably going to be the Greater Thumb East title.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a good game when it comes down to it. Marlette knocking off Harbor Beach in Harbor Beach during their winter homecoming. Sometimes those things kind of throw you off, though, because your mind's elsewhere those nights. If you got a player that's on the court or whatever the case might be.
That's why I hate them. Yeah, I really do.
You know that when I first started covering games in the area, they started doing the indoor floats where they'd have them like on a wagon or something. They cut those out. Yeah. You don't see those anymore because that just takes up more time and more.
I think Millington, instead of doing that, they dress up a hallway.
Oh yeah.
Marlette did the same thing last night.
Yeah, last night was decked out and. Just like a Las Vegas theme or something.
Well, it was like Las Vegas on one side, tropical on the other, like forestry on something. I Bub like maybe line the other one. I have no.
As far as I'm concerned, homecoming's good enough, and let's go from there.
Call it good, yeah. But nonetheless, big win. Harbor Beach now taking on Elkton Pigeon Bayport Laker non-conference contest coming up next Tuesday. They are on pace with K-Pac, so it could make it coming down to a very interesting. Did you get leading scores on that game, Christian?
Which game? The Ubley?
Yeah.
No, I don't see it.
Trying to see here if I can.
So all I saw was I got
Mason
the scores.
Yan led the way, game high 18 points. Parker Yan added 10. Dylan Kadar and Evan Smoglinski had 8 points. Tyler Nelson led the way for Sandusky with 15 points. So big win last night for the Harbor Beach Pirates.
Yeah, well, this is why I didn't see it, because I was looking for Harbor Beach. I didn't see Pirates at first, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pirates is in the headline, not Harbor Beach.
Oh. Yeah, the Harbor Beach Pirates. Yes. We'll go elsewhere in the Greater Thumb as we jump over to the Greater Thumb West last night in the Wild Wild West, and a thumping that the Bad Axe Hatchets took 72-37 against the Reese Rockets. That's
kind of surprising.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
I definitely would think so.
Really surprising.
Bad Axe is one of those teams we had. We still have them on the schedule against USA, where you kind of thought that was going to be for the conference title. You thought they were both going to maybe cruise on out and have that rematch for the conference title. Now they're going to need a little bit of help from somebody out there to knock off USA and the conference to at least.
Well, maybe it's one of those games where Reese finally put everything together with the talent that they have on the floor, and maybe things are starting to click a little bit more for them.
23 points for Gabe Robinson's nice night for sure. But your leading scorer for Bad Axe, Jack Clancy, which you don't normally see. It's usually Cody Tulaski as of late leading the way. But Jack Clancy had 8 points for Bad Axe. So now USA 2 games up in the Greater Thumb West.
Yeah.
And
probably clinch now, I would think.
It's going to be tough for somebody else to knock off USA the way that they're coasting on through. But a couple big games coming up. Chris, I don't think our Valley Lutheran game is going to work. I found out it's Monday.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not on Wednesday. Wednesday they play Croslex at Croslex. That game is still on.
Looks like that's been canceled.
See, MHSA says that, but the USA site still says that that it's happening. So
well, I want to see that game happen.
I know. I
would love to see that game happen.
Both games would be insane. I mean, to see them play Valley Lutheran, then turn around and play Croslex.
Because they canceled the Clio game out because of weather or whatever it was before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they still have to make up the Carroll game. That's a conference game that they have to make up.
Yeah.
So maybe they're going to play Carroll there instead in Croslex. Because there's only 2 weeks left in the boys' season.
Right.
We got a phone call coming through. You want to take it?
Sure. Radio.
Let's talk sports. Good morning.
Yeah, that's Mike Nolan, head basketball coach of North Branch. I hear you guys talking about us this morning.
Hey. Love talking about you guys.
How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you, Coach?
I'd like to listen to you guys more often. We have our youth program on Saturdays. Our 3rd and 4th graders are in the gym right now getting ready to be the future stars in North Branch.
There you go.
Outstanding.
Well, Coach, I hope you're bringing the same intensity that you bring to the varsity games.
No, I'm a little more laid back on Saturdays.
All right.
Big week for you guys for the North Branch Broncos. Not only picking up a couple wins, but also Mr. Riley Bugg going for his 1,000th point for the Broncos. So got to be pretty happy with the way the week went.
Yeah, we're pretty happy. We knew he was close, and he needed 12 on Tuesday night. We knew it was a big game. Croslex playing really good, and they beat us at home. So we was looking for a little bit of revenge on that game. And so our preparation was, let's win the game and get Riley's 1,000 and then celebrate in the locker room. Last year we won districts there, so we had a nice celebration there then. And so it worked out perfect. It was a good game, good close game. And he barely got it, but he got it.
Yeah, I mean, that's big, especially a couple conference wins and getting a conference win against Croslex in Croslex. That's huge too as well for North Branch and the way you guys are playing right now. Talk a little bit about that win against Croslex and I guess what the game plan was going in. We were talking on the air a couple minutes ago about the length that North Branch brings and how that disrupts the opposing team.
Well, I tell you, they shoot the ball well. They shot the ball well here when they played us, and we weren't ready for that. I think it was our 3rd game of the year. And I knew Soper kid's really good. He's only a sophomore. Kerrigan shot the lights out here in North Branch, and he did there Tuesday. And then the other sophomore, Johnson, really good player. He shot the lights out there. So we knew they could shoot. We wanted to play a little bit better defense. We played really bad defense against Richmond a couple weekends ago. So we buckled down, got kind of back to basics this week, and just working on our defense and keeping everybody in front of us. And, just the basics on D. We're trying to get better. For us to win the league's not going to happen. Richmond way ahead of everybody. So we're trying to get better for Goodrich. Our first round in the districts, we have Goodrich, and they're really good. So we're trying to get there. I don't know if our length really hurt them much. I think we were kind of more intense on D and kind of got after them a little bit more.
Coach, Christian here just looked up your district, and I see that you are playing Goodrich first round, and then a possible matchup with Ortonville Brandon. Kind of 2 teams might not be too familiar with. What do you know about them so far?
I know Goodrich. We watched them a couple times. They have a point guard Last name's Davis. He's a sophomore. He's in the top 100 for football in the nation. But he can play. He can get to the basket. He likes to drive. Very quick. And they got a couple other nice players that can shoot the ball. They're 11-5. We're 12-6. I mean, they play probably maybe a little bit. I don't know if they play in tough competition we do, because the BWAC is tough.
Oh yes.
I don't know much about Ortonville Brandon. We're gonna watch them here. I'm sending a couple guys out to watch them this week. So we'll see what they got. I'm not sure their record. I thought they were like 3-10 or something like that, but I know they got some kids on Martin Luther King Day that transfers. So
okay, yeah.
We're waiting to scout them until those kids start playing.
Okay, yeah, they're 3-13 right now. MHSA site says. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's and their head coach used to coach at North Branch.
Oh, okay.
Mark Stevens was the head coach here before I. Yep.
Hey, Coach,
So,
real quick with that, with the length that you guys bring to the floor, I mean, what's your kind of game style when you guys hit the floor? I mean, is it more slow the pace down, or are you looking for a fast pace of play quite a bit, or are you just trying to match up with the team that's coming onto the court with you?
Well, we like to push the ball a little bit more than we have. We're athletic. We got Riley's athletic, Jared Rutledge athletic, Nathan Farnsworth, my point guard. He's athletic. He's been my point guard since I've been at North Branch. So, we're trying to push the ball to the floor. We got some guys that can shoot it. So if we can get to the inside and then kick it out and get some open shots, that's good for us. But we can slow it down. We can play either way. We don't like to slow it down. Elmont does that to us. That's why we struggle with them. They really clamp down and slow the ball down. But, we take advantage of who they put on Riley. If they're going to put a big guy on him, we'll 1-4 out and let him take him to the basket. They put a smaller guy and we put him in the post. He's hard to guard.
Very hard to guard, absolutely.
There's no question about that.
Yeah, very, very,
he got
very
1,000
hard.
points for a reason.
Right, exactly. Well, hey, Coach, thanks for the call-in, and hey, get back to those youth and keep building the program over there.
All right, thanks for the coverage, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely.
No problem, Coach. Thank you so much.
Yep, see ya.
Yep, see ya. All right, Coach Nolan of the North Branch Broncos.
Just do a quick head-to-head here. Elmont has defeated North Branch now twice this year, 59-50 and 45-42. And then Elmont lost to Goodrich. Where did I just say it? Lost to Goodrich 57-39.
So, yeah, it's a good chance that North Branch could.
Yeah,
they lost to Goodrich. You said
lost to Goodrich.
Oh, they lost to Goodrich.
Lost
okay,
to Goodrich.
okay. So it's going to be quite the
just a head-to-head matchup.
Quite the battle right away for North Branch as they head on into districts. But we saw them play against Kingston. They played some very good basketball in that game.
Yeah.
So interested to see what they bring to the table once they get things going. But man. We are going to have to get moving here.
We're running.
We're going to have to run through, see other scores here. USA knocks out Cass City 56-43. Does anybody got stats on that? I know I do. They got tweeted at us via Steve Kramer last night.
What? I'm sorry. What game did you?
USA over Cass City 56-43.
I do not.
I do from Steve. Let me go back here, all the way back.
Yeah, because it would have to be Steve because Coach doesn't like to report stats.
Who's that? Oh, yeah. Tyler Heckroth, 18. Mike Kramer, 14. And Riley Zimmer having another good game this week with 14 points.
Did you just say Riley?
Oh, sorry. He just put last names, and I'm reading it.
She might have.
Maybe picked up some.
Yeah.
Maybe they went. They don't look that much like their cousins.
No,
they're not siblings, but I don't know. My apologies. Hey guys, it's 11:30.
I know. I get you. It's all right.
I'm tapped out. Peck knocking off Akron Fairgrove girls. I believe that maybe that was boys. Yes, that was boys. 70-11 last night. So. Big win last night for the Peck Pirates on the boys' side of things. And then on the girls' side of things, they won as well. 68-23. Stacia Cohey had 7 points. Cynthia Bouvet, 7 points with Akron Fairgrove. And on the girls' side for Peck, Sam Bissett had 15 points to lead the way. And then 14 points for Emma Engler to lead the way for the to help lead the way for the Peck Pirates. Elsewhere, CPS knocking off Caseville 57-15 on the boys' side, leading the way for the Tigers, Ellen Cooney with 13, Landon Emerson 12 points, Devin Taylor with 10 points. And then we talked about Carroll Vassar already, leading the way in that one. Miles Campbell, career high, game high, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Caleb Cotton, 10 points, 11 boards. Tyler Foster, 8 points, including a big 3 and free throw that pushed the lead to 4 in overtime to help them secure that win. And that's all the stats I got. I think I'm pretty much tapped out. You guys have anything else over there?
I do not have anything.
He's tapping.
No, nothing.
Millington didn't play last night.
No.
Frankenmuth. I do have Frankenmuth as well. Boys beat Bertrand 44-31 last night. Leading the way was Thomas Brooks with 12 points and 5 boards. Cody Kepner?
Yes.
Okay. 11 points, 5 rebounds for Frankenmuth. And I don't have Frankenmuth girls.
Bertrand girls beat Frankenmuth last night 50-37. And I'm looking for points right now. Sarah Miller had 14 points and 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals, and 5 assists in that game. Sabrina Jarbeau from Bertrand scored 16. Where's the Frankenmuth stats at? Kellen Kuyat, Emma Kirkhow, I think that's how you pronounce it, had 8 points each for the move.
All right, and I think that is going to wrap things up for our recap, our quick recap today. Game of the week. I don't know what we're going to do now. It was going to be the Valley Lutheran USA game.
We'll roll dice and see what happens.
And that was a Monday game. I screwed up. I thought it was Wednesday because MHSA's website says it's Wednesday. So that's not right. So we're going to have to go back to the drawing board on that one. Maybe we'll make a trip to Croslex. No, just kidding.
Let's drive.
Already seemed like a long way to go to Marlette last night.
It did seem pretty long, didn't it?
I don't know why. Maybe because it was snowing and just
I don't know.
gloomy and dry last night.
There's no really easy way to get there from here either.
No, there's really not. Somebody really wants to talk to Christian.
Yeah, not good there.
He is a popular man. But nonetheless, that being said, it is time to do our last tour of duty or our last thing to do here. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But nonetheless, let's get into it.
The Freak Nasty Player of the Week.
Super freaky.
And we do have your athletes of the week. And we just talked about him with Coach Snoblin, right? I want to say, make sure I called him Snoblin for the longest time, which just sounds like snooty. So, Snoblin, we talked about him. Mr. Riley Bug. 1,000 points on the year. That's pretty much all you need to know, or on the career.
Well, I was going to say on the year. Wow.
Yeah, it'd be a heck of a year.
I mean, we could have went a couple different ways with this today.
Could have.
We obviously had DJ Daniels with his 200th win of his career. We Carroll wrestling picking up their 26th straight district title. I forgot to mention that as well.
Incredible.
Zimmer. Having a big Landon.
Yep.
Having a big game for USA against Kingston, and also had a nice night last night against Cass City.
Ricardo.
Yeah. A couple different ways it could have went. But, man, Riley Bug having himself a huge year. He's just, I mean.
Well, the first player to ever score 1,000 points for the North Branch Broncos. I mean, that's awesome. That's big. That's big. It is.
So congratulations to Riley and everybody else that hit your milestones and the Carroll Wrestling Squad as well. Also, we had our girls' side of things. Zoe Persales of Reese, 2 big wins this week in the Greater Thumb West Conference as they knocked off Laker and Bad Axe. She dropped 27 against Laker, and then she dropped 14 against Bad Axe. So
safe to say we'll be talking about her for the next 3 years as well.
Yeah, that's definitely very safe to say for sure. So, all right, with that being said, I think that is it. Did Michigan play this weekend?
Good question. I'm not sure.
I think they play today.
Today?
Yes, they play Wisconsin. Ooh, revenge game.
Yes, it is.
Noon today, so very shortly here, we'll get Michigan, Wisconsin. That's going to be on our AM side. So if you don't have AM radio, if you don't know what AM radio is,
that's for you younger
can't
kids.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in listening, that's where you can find it. But with that being said, we're going to jump back on in here, and we'll let you know what our game of the week is going to be. Follow along at Let's Talk Sports 3. And congratulations, Riley Bug, Zoe Persales. You are the athletes of the week. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with some more music for you as we got some Journey lined up. Right here it is Classic Rock I-92. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Classic Rock I-92.
Indeed knows it's hard to find qualified candidates when you're hiring.
It's like finding a unicorn.
But when you post your job on Indeed, it's easy to find people with the skills you need.
Nurse practitioner, 4+ years experience, acute care certification.
Indeed has a huge pool of amazing candidates and screener tools that help you find your most qualified applicants.
Whoa, and